Welcome back to Gears 5.
Katie!
Actually,
Your mother calling Katie.
Dad, I have a
Can you
revelation
help
to
out?
show you, to tell you. What if I told you, just throwing it out there, that we're almost 3/4 into the story?
How about the that too? Jova.
Wait, we're almost done?
Jova.
3/4. The
Yep.
main story takes 20 parts.
Here.
And we've done nothing.
Here,
Wow.
Jova. You'll be Reina and I'll be Mira. Katie, listen to your mother. You're supposed to lead the locust, honey. Stop hanging out with those dumb humans.
But Mom!
No, Shira's Katie. Shira's Kate. Remember. Go ahead, Shira.
Not until I've had my coffee or something. I don't know.
Katie, stop hanging out with that. Whatever. What's that? What's that thing that you're holding? I don't even know what that is.
You're supposed to be dead. You can't tell me what to do.
Alright, you heard him.
After
Right,
all, Mother
right.
knows best.
Reina, you're the one who raised her. Put her in her place.
How does Barrett even know it?
Padduk served in the cog for a while.
Katie, this is your mother speaking. Listen to your grandmother and my mother, and follow in the proper lineage.
I'm already on a lineage.
Yes, but you must fulfill our lineage, honey.
Yeah, you're not allowed to be. You're not.
bloodline.
You're not allowed to be your own person. You must be whatever we deemed you to be.
I'm ending the
Is
bloodline.
that some clever meta commentary about the will of a character in the whimsy of a writer?
It's not a better game.
If that helps you to, why not?
But yes,
I'm gonna take
yes,
that.
but yes, audience, as you can tell by Shiroi's wailing reaction, it's kind of amazing that we're more than halfway done with the story yet.
Again,
yeah,
Jova,
not much
almost
has happened.
3/4.
Yep.
Not much has happened. Like, okay, let's do a recap here. Like, okay, so
It's
we
recap
spent a bit of time establishing
Recap of what?
JD.
Jova. Recap. That's
I know this one. It's recap time. Katie, what locust have you met today?
Well, we met
Anyway,
the
but yeah.
matriarch. That was that.
Well, okay,
Okay, one.
okay, seriously though, let's do a recap though. So we started off the story with JD in the main driver's seat, and then just tossed him aside as the protagonist. So there goes a few hours of character
But
development
Jova,
already.
JD opened fire on unarmed Protestants.
Yes, and that was sad, and it leads him to be downtrodden for about the screen time length of 10 minutes total. Now he's pretty much back to hanging out with the group. Oh, sure, yeah, we might discuss some things later, but as far as his character development goes in regards to the whole shooting on people and struggling between following orders or siding with his friends, that point is pretty much done.
This game this plot feels about as incomplete as something like Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. I mean, let's think about this for a moment. So JD starts off like that, and then he has that big falling out at the end of Act 1 with them. Then we skip 4 months ahead. Then all of a sudden now he's Dick JD, as we've nicknamed him, and he has that stupid arm, that thing that's never.
What about J Dick?
Sure, let's go J-Dick. J-Dick now for some reason has that stupid arm thing that never is explained, and he doesn't have it anymore, by the way. So I don't know what the hell happened.
Again, isn't it supposed to be like the healing compartment because he got his arm injured?
Maybe yes, Tail. Maybe no. Maybe if the game told me what it is, I would know.
And like I said though, guys, no point calling him J-Dick anymore because he's now pretty much back to being the JD we know and love. Oh, sure, yeah, he still has that weird look and everything, but pretty much his development with struggling between following orders or following his friends is done.
It was entirely. Well, remember, Job, it was entirely done off screen. You'd think maybe it would be something like this, where, okay, maybe somewhere during Act 2, while we were focusing on Kate, maybe he had some kind of big revelation caused by something that happened. But again, we don't know because we never saw any of that. We don't know what exactly led JD from the point where he was at the end of at the beginning of Act 2 to how he is now. This is literally character development off screen, which I will argue that is far worse than off screen deaths.
Now mind you.
Well, actually, I can offer a rebuttal.
Go ahead.
Well,
With off-screen deaths, you never see the character again. At least with off-screen character development, there's a chance they'll come back.
Okay. I'll just say
Small
this,
favors,
both
I
are
guess. Go
I'll
ahead.
just say this, both are stupid for their own reasons, but back to my own thing, though. But okay, you look, audience. If the story were more tongue-in-cheek, I probably wouldn't raise so much a fuss about this, because in a more tongue-in-cheek story, well, okay, it's part of the parody that, oh, his character development happened off-screen here and there. But it's like, no, the story wants us to take it seriously, but how can we when none of it was shown? Like, yeah, maybe it was shown in a comic book or supplementary material, and from what I've been able to garner, no, not even that regarding this game, but that wouldn't be good. But all the same, though, why couldn't they have just put it in this story here? Did we really need to waste as much time as we
Maybe,
did? Because,
maybe that part is explained in a comic book. I don't know.
Well, okay,
Actually, you
okay.
did mention Pedro where he was explaining a comic book.
Wait, the JD's off-screen stuff?
Yeah, because it's connected to Asshole turning to a new one, no?
Well, I don't know. I only mentioned what happened in the comic. I only mentioned the comic book in between 4 and 5. I never said anything about.
No. You did mention something about supplementary material that it's tied to Mr. Asshole with sunglasses, and JD is attached to that.
No, I never
I
mentioned
think
that
you
too.
mentioned
Sorry.
that happened in between 4 and 5, though.
No.
Regardless, though. Back to my recap, though. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for JD so far, because let's switch gears over. So suddenly then Kate becomes the new protagonist, and we don't do much with it. Like, sure, yeah, look, we have complained and critiqued scenes with her, but honestly, really, the game hasn't done much with her other than establish, oh, she has this connection with her grandmother, and her mother may still be alive. Like, heck, all the stuff having to do with Niles was, again, mainly stuff that built on her grandmother's backstory, and arguably weakened it, as I mentioned before, and has revealed that her mother is actually alive and is now the Locust Queen for some reason, and now she resolves that she needs to finish it. That's it. Like, there's nothing making it so that this is her story, because everyone is just as concerned about finishing the
This
Locust.
also-
Oh, sure, yeah, maybe it's personal that it's her mother, but they haven't done much stuff really building on the relationship between her and her mother. Like, you know what? Give Final Fantasy X credit. The relationship between the protagonist and his father was enough to help fuel for the final battle with Sin, essentially.
There's a-
Object becomes Sin.
There's another parallel that also comes up because of it. Even though it's not the original protagonist of the original trilogy, because although Mira did have spoken lines in this game, so she apparently some kind of some bit of her conscience is still out there, considering they even brought back the original voice actress from Gears of War 1, 2, and 3 to reprise her role as Mira for those small lines that she has.
Unless it was genuine hallucinations that Kate was having.
Well,
Yeah, not explained well enough.
But well, regardless, even though it's not the grandmother that comes back, it's the mother. Like seriously, at this point we're basically doing Rise of Skywalker in the same way that Rey has to now fight her grandfather, the Emperor.
And honestly,
Okay, when I saw that plot twist in theaters, I laughed. It's probably the hardest I've ever.
Well, you had better than me. I was just shaking my head personally.
Wait, Dad, you didn't know that we were fighting the Emperor? Like, I thought the trailers made it obvious.
No, that Rey Palpatine, the reveal. I was like, are you kidding me? I was like, you could not let this go.
It's fan fiction.
Well, that's the thing, though, Deji. Remember, the thing of Rise of Skywalker was that they hit the panic button from The Last Jedi, but extremely overdid it.
I was perfectly fine with Rey coming from nobody.
Okay,
That was fine.
I do get the problems with Rey being nobody, because let's be honest, Last Jedi really baited fans way too much, saying, oh, it's this big mystery, only for it to be nothing. It's like, you would have been better off not hyping people up for that. And like many have mentioned in other cases here and there, yeah, it really does not make sense that Rey is so flipping powerful as she is without having any training whatsoever. But regardless.
I still think what would have made it better is if she was the complete opposite of Luke, where Luke couldn't believe that he could do all this Jedi stuff, but Rey can. But the thing is, she cannot control it.
That would have helped. Look, anything.
Like she's completely dangerous. Like a better written in Jean Grey. Oops, did I say that Jean Grey is boring? Oops. I let that slip. Oops.
That's you're with the majority of the world on that. But
Also,
okay.
you have to specify which continuity, if
Yes.
not at all.
Unfortunately, Teal, that's kind of sadly, I think, consistent. Well, okay, maybe the ultimate version is ironically one of the better consistent versions of Jean Grey.
The Ultimate X-Men were boring at best and very, very counterproductive at worst.
Anyway, in regards to Rey Palpatine, I've always been a believer that twist could have worked if it had been established earlier. Or hell, if they had at least dedicated more than just one movie to deal with all the fallout here. Like, again, the whole Rey Palpatine thing could have worked out if it was planned from the get-go. It obviously wasn't, and, well, the result is obvious.
It's also, Joe, I remember, at least speculation-wise, supposedly something that was hastily rewritten in a rush, because the original plan was having instead a younger, rejuvenated Palpatine.
It also brings another parallel in the same way that Kathleen Kennedy had no plan. You can tell Rod Ferguson had exactly zero plan when creating this original trilogy, because I still do not believe that making Kate be the protagonist now midway through this game was the original plan, even back in 2014.
Are you really telling me that of all the people in the development team regarding just the plot, Cliff Beziski was the collagen that held everything together?
Both him and others too. That's the only conclusion I can take. Go ahead, Dwibs.
Yes, Dwibs?
Well, Jover, about your point earlier, in terms of stuff coming out of nowhere and it not really adding up in the grand scheme of things, what do you expect when part of the script was written by Chris Terrier?
Anyway.
You done a lot.
Anyway, back to this game though. Tying into that, if I recall correctly, there may be some supplementary material that does mention that what's really controlling Reyna is Myrna's essence, so it may or may well be Myrna anyway.
Yeah, basically, we're gonna see this later, but yes, the Reyna that's got revived, it's basically an evil resurrected zombie version locust of her that is evil.
The cuts indeed showcase something akin to that, the fact that it was like a then Van got read by the matriarch.
So here's what I have to ask though: why not just have it be Myrna? Because it pretty much is Myrna. Just
I guess they wanted to be too obvious and recycle 100% the villain.
Allow me to remind you, Deji, that both this and Rise of Skywalker came out in the same year. It's like what Ferguson and Kathleen Kennedy were planning this together or something.
2019, the year of batshit crazy plot twists.
True that.
Also, this cutscene is destroying my Xbox One, basically.
Maybe you should get an Xbox Xbox Series X.
No, I'll
run the game.
I have a Series S.
No, I'll just get.
X is greater.
I'll just get an S since I don't particularly care
it's
for.
a rocket train. Let's pray that the wind is fast enough to keep up with a rocket train of all things. Wind energy for the go!
That's the thing, Jova. Technically, there's no wind. Like, this thing just works regardless of direction. Like, there's no actual wind.
There's a sandstorm, though, so wouldn't there be wind?
It's not like in Wind Waker, where there's actually wind that you can, change and like. No. This thing just always goes forward, no matter where you are, no matter which direction you're going.
Well, they did showcase in one of the previous parts of that.
Yeah,
but in one of the previous parts, you did showcase that you can get stuck because there's no actual wind blowing behind you.
Well, yeah.
There is a sandstorm, so there has to be some wind. But my point is that it's kind of silly that even with all the wind here, it seems silly that wind should be able to help this thing keep up with a freaking rocket train.
Especially
it's a video game.
Not just that, Jova. It's more the fact that the windstorm doesn't actually, tosses the vehicle entirely aside, because remember, it took just a simple helicopter to actually, carry it up. So you think it's something like a sandstorm will actually toss it around like a toy.
All right, I'm gonna echo what Deji just said. But we don't typically question these things in video games, so why are we questioning it?
Okay. Here's the we do question some of these things, Dribs, and here's the thing. You are in charge of this world. Why not make something that makes more sense, like something that has an electric motor to it? In fact, it's the future. Why are you relying strictly on wind energy with this thing? Like, I get maybe if you had run out of power, but surely you could have something like a special futuristic motorcycle or something that could reverse on this. Like, okay, let me put it like this. It's like if you had a series set into the future, so in order to catch up with a speedboat, you instead use a sailing ship galleon. Like, yeah, it looks fancy or cool, but a past ship like that cannot keep up with a modern ship.
Alright, I'm gonna quote TV tropes. Rule of cool.
It doesn't even look
that's
No. Actually, I want to jump onto that, but also connect to what Jovan said. That in itself, I can dig that, Dej. What I question is the rules that the game established. The game established that the vehicle can be easily picked up by a helicopter. So by that same rules, a sandstorm like this should be able to lift it up. It's pretty simple like that, Dej. I don't think I'm asking that much, am I?
Yeah.
No.
And again, why would you make an object that pretty much can easily be hindered if you think about it? Yeah, I get it. Sometimes there is rule cool that
Why do bosses have
can allow you
obvious
to do
red
stuff.
weak points?
well here.
Okay. That is more of a difference thing because with that stuff, it requires stuff to be fair. But this stuff is more logistic.
Why did Eggman install Shadow Fever into his own map?
Again, Dej, you are questioning things that a game doesn't normally lampshade. But this one, in the meantime, actually have power to showcase a previous example. So I'm building upon that. If that was never the case, I wouldn't particularly ask about it, But since there is a precedent, that does, that's why it should work like that.
That's what the other side does. For me, it's just one of those cases where the game does such a terrible job in engaging me that my attention is drawn somewhere else, basically.
That too, yeah. But okay. Let's look.
Scientifically, can motorcycles outrun trains?
I don't know, and quite frankly, I don't care.
I'd love to see someone like the Mythbusters try
Okay,
it.
let me see if they tried it.
Believe it or not, it is possible, but it depends on what type of train and it depends on what type of motorcycle. Okay. So here's the thing, though. With this game, they could have easily have come up with some kind of thing that at least makes sense in context. Like, sure, yeah, maybe in reality, motorcycles aren't normally faster than trains, but it's much easier to buy that in the future we have something like a jet-powered motorcycle rather than just, wind energy is suddenly more powerful than rocket power, because that just doesn't make any sense. Like, let me put it like this. In comic books, when you see Batman try to catch up with someone, you don't see him using often the sales thing unless it's something that makes sense in the context here. Because otherwise, writers just give him this or that gadget, but something that does make sense in the context.
You also have to remember one important detail in Universe. After 3, all vehicles have essentially had to be reworked from the ground up because we needed to stop using emotion altogether.
That as well.
But also, to connect also to what Jova said, it depends on both type of vehicle. Think of what it said in Back to the Future Part 3. A traditional steam power locomotive cannot really reach 88 miles per hour unless it's strained beyond belief. So there is that.
So yeah, basically the bridge that the train was going to go through was raised for some reason, so we had to basically lower it by making the things explode, basically.
Similar to what you did, I think, in 1 near the end against the Brumac. No, with the while the Brumac was tailing you.
Yeah.
Quicker now, trains are coming.
Ciao, ciao.
Alright.
She's been training her whole life for this.
Ha.
I mean, this plot is pretty on the rails.
It is.
You started it.
I'm so proud of you.
Last one's down.
Well, who's gonna end it and bring it into the freight station?
Me?
Alright, let's put the brakes on this.
Alright, let's go.
Glad to hear it, Padduk.
All right, let's throttle on and pull on through.
Yeah, we're just chugging along with this plot.
Guys, you gotta give me a break with these jokes.
Full steam ahead.
At breakneck speed.
I wish I had a new
Hold on. You could have said that before, Padduk. Why?
I could tell, but if I did that,
You just know Padduk is having a laugh, forcing these people to go being errand boys all over the place. Never tell me the odds.
Thank you, Dow. That was an interaction.
I guess.
I mean, it's nice that we're getting more interaction. It's just something's missing.
What are you doing, Pedro?
Basically, I'm trying my Theo. It's one of those things that where the marker tells me to go that way, but there's a giant wall in my way. So I'm so.
Oh, wait. Now I know what's missing. Fun.
No, he said fun. Anyway, let's go back the way we came. There you go, for the road.
Hey, how are we skipping on solid concrete? Shouldn't that make it harder to move across? You're just setting up to jinx us, Kate.
I saw her. I saw whatever she is now.
So the awakening, that's what Naz was doing, and that's the reason why the whole Kate becoming the queen subplot stopped, because when yes.
No, go ahead and finish too. Sorry.
Because when Niles used that operation, essentially whatever that transformation was happening got transferred by proxy to the corpse of her mother. So I guess that's why Reyna is the new Locust Queen.
Hey, Shirei.
Yeah.
I just something. Katie, I have to say I'm really proud of you. I mean, I was expecting you to be a bit, shaken and a bit disturbed by the fact that your mom is all of a sudden she's trying to destroy the human race, and you have to kill her. I mean, you seem to be taking this pretty well when you get right onto it.
She's just having a midlife crisis.
I
don't
am
see
not.
anything wrong with that.
It is not a simple midlife crisis, child. It is my destiny, my right to rule.
You keep telling yourself that.
You are so getting grounded after I'm done with you and the world.
How are you gonna ground me? You're dead.
Shut up, JD.
You're already in the crowd.
No, I'm
Nobody
not.
cares what you think, JD.
Technically, she's undead, not dead.
Still in the
It's
ground.
still a form of dead.
It is still a form of dead.
But guys, what if she's been given new life while being dead?
Maybe it's Jova.
That only counts for like rock stars.
Well, Jova, maybe it's like in the Indigo Prophecy, Jova. They resurrected her, but she's still dead.
Oh God, just like
the series.
Oh God, does this mean she's gonna have sex with Marcus like the protagonist of Indigo Prophecy, even though she's dead, technically?
Oh come on, Jova, don't be so mean towards the Kate and JD shippers.
Wait, no, I was talking about Reyna, since she's.
Oh, Reyna. Dead. Okay, I misread that. Reyna and well, maybe I don't know.
Oh God, are there Reyna and Marcus shippers?
No, not that I'm aware. I'm only aware of I've been told that there is some JD and Kate fanfic stuff out there.
Like I said in 4, I got the idea that was the one potential direction the plot of 4 was going. I get the idea they railroaded it to showcase a bit more independence of the character of Kate.
I think
The most problem is, of course, instead the butchering instead of whatever.
Because as we all know, because as we all know, a woman cannot be both independent and have a boyfriend at the same time. Now that's just ridiculous.
But guys,
I wonder if it's instead the more simple question of screen time sharing.
So Tio, I remember how last part you said that the last straw for you would be if Dom turned out to be brought back.
Not even resurrected. Turns out he magically managed to avoid dying at the end of 3. Near the end of 3.
I managed to avoid dying.
Again, actually, kinda. Like, again, jumped, because the only way he could potentially would have been jumping away from the car at the last possible second and then go into hiding or something. Because, remember, the place was completely deserted from actual human beings, in a sense that everyone had mutated at the point because of emotion, you know. He also had no more reasons to leave, because he thought that it was the great occasion that he had in order to, you know, do something good for the others and get back to his wife, for lack of a better term, you know.
So in that regard, Tio, what would be your reaction if Adam was brought back to life? You know, the other big
Okay, Joba. I know this is a sci-fi series, but they really had not anything that can reconstitute the molecules of a, you know, deep-dusted person. This is not, this is not a case of someone being bleeped.
Well, what if they found a way to bring him back? What would be your reaction then?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see.
I would require enough context for that. Because
Simple tale. We'll just pull a comic book style plot twist. Turns out that Adam we saw in Gears 3 was a clone. There you go. Problem solved.
Or a local threat managed to disguise enough potentially. Yeah, I can see them potentially trying to do something like that.
Alright,
so we'll see you for the next part of Gears 5: The Clone Saga.
Yes.
Oh, no.
See you, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah.
Yeah.